Hello, and welcome to Jeff Kagan Interviews. I'm Jeff Kagan. As an industry analyst, columnist, and technology influencer for 40 years, I've started Jeff Kagan Interviews to chat with senior executives of interesting and important companies in our ever-changing and expanding world. Joining us today is Dave Gentry, CEO of RedChip Companies. Welcome, Dave.
Thanks for having me, Jeff.
You're welcome. It's a pleasure. Today, we'll be discussing RedChip Companies and their new AI-driven service called RedChat. RedChip Companies is an Inc. 5000 company focused on the microcap and small cap market for the past 33 years. RedChat is their new service, which brings AI technology into the investment picture. It helps the investor make the right choices at the right time. Dave, after learning about your company, I was really excited about what you're doing in the small cap space, and it's really truly amazing what AI is doing to every industry, one after the other. Before we get started, why don't you spend a few minutes and tell us about RedChip Companies and this new AI service called RedChat?
Sure, Jeff. So RedChip's been around for almost 33 years now. We're an investor relations and media company representing about 70 companies a year. We started as a research firm in the 90s, putting research coverage on companies like Starbucks, Winnebago, Daktronics. Over the years, we've become an investor relations and media firm representing companies like U.S. Steel, Perfumania, Celsius, and many other companies that ultimately became blue chip companies. So our theme is discovering tomorrow's blue chips today. And we have the most robust platform for smaller cap companies, 2 billion and under, that need to reach a wider institutional and retail audience. At the top of our platform is our national media platform, in which we write and produce 30-second TV ads and run them on national TV, like Fox Business, Bloomberg. We also have our own show called Small Stocks, Big Money, titled after my book, published by Wiley. And that airs every Saturday at 7 p.m. on Bloomberg. And on that show, you'll see interviews with small cap companies, sometimes an analyst or a fund manager. That show's been running now for almost 5 years on the Bloomberg network. And then we have our outbound program, in which we're talking to fund managers, stockbrokers, RIAs, analysts every day, positioning our clients' stories. We also do webinars, in which we'll put 30, 50, 100 investors on one webinar for our clients to present the story. We have a newsletter that goes out weekly, a very robust social media platform in which we create multiple videos for our clients. And we also do roadshows for our clients in up to 8 U.S. cities. It's an AI product for small cap investors, programmed for over 4,000 small cap stocks, 2 billion under market cap. So if you go to redchip.com, you'll go to that portal, and you can ask RedChat any question about any of these 4,000 stocks. And if it's in the filings or the press releases, it will give you answers in seconds. So you can ask what's their most recent cash position, what's their quarterly revenue, who's their CEO, what's the enterprise value. If it's a biotech, you can ask what stage of clinical trials they are in. You can ask about that drug candidate, et cetera, et cetera. So it's a very powerful tool that will give you answers in seconds on 4,000 companies, so that you don't have to pour through filings or press releases. You can type in your question, or you can simply ask your question.
That's incredible what this technology is allowing you to do. So RedChip has a long history of supporting small cap companies. You have plenty of experience in that area. So when you created RedChat, what problem were you specifically trying to solve?
Well, again, investors want to do their homework, most of them, on if they're going to buy a small cap stock, that it is the riskiest asset class. And so instead of companies or investors having to pour through, hundreds of filings and finding the answer to enterprise value or cash position or book value or what's the CEO's compensation, we wanted to provide a service where they could get those answers in seconds. And that's what we did. It's also a product, again, that clients can use on their own investor relations page, so that investors going to their page, once again, instead of pouring through press releases and filings, 10Ks, 8Ks, 10Qs, you can ask your question about the company. If it's in the filings or press releases, you'll get your answer in seconds.
All right. So before we dig a little deeper into this, tell us about you, about your background, about what led you to start RedChip Companies, and how has your journey into this small cap space influenced the creation of this new AI based service?
Well, I don't come from the finance markets. I was a politician, I was a school teacher, and I did have some marketing jobs. And in 1996, I was the Republican nominee for a U.S. House seat at age 37 in Florida. But I lost the general election. At that point, I'd lost everything, and I moved away from Gainesville, where I'd gotten my master's and was the center from which I'd run for the U.S. House. Moved to Orlando, needed a job, and got a job in this business, in the investor relations business. So that's how I started. But again, having been an educator in politics, having read very, very widely, I brought all that expertise, if you will, into this space. And in 2001, I had the opportunity to start my own firm, which I did, called Aurelius Consulting Group. And then later on bought RedChip, which is a brand that has been around for 32 years. So I bought RedChip in 2005 from an asset management firm, integrated it to my IR firm, and then continued to grow it over the last 24 years.
That's amazing. I remember in the 90s, I was an advisor to Congressman Newt Gingrich when he was Speaker of the House during the Bill Clinton administration. It was, I didn't work in politics, but I had a chance to taste it. And it was everything that you think it is, for better and for worse. It's,
well, I met Newt Gingrich in '96 after I won the Republican nomination. They put you at Capitol Hill and you go through sort of boot camp for the general election. And all the congressmen will come in and speak to you and give you advice. And Newt Gingrich, we was able to spend a little bit of time with him. I really admire Newt Gingrich.
Yeah, that's a good background. So you've seen a lot of changes in the investor relations arena with investor behavior over the past several decades. So how does RedChat meet the needs of this new investor, of the more tech-savvy, information-hungry investor?
Well, great point, because things have changed a lot in the last 20 years. Information today is at our fingertips. ChatGPT has really changed everything in every industry. And our product, we believe, is disrupting and will disrupt the small cap, our little space, the small cap investor relations space, because people want information quickly. It's got to be accurate. And that's what RedChat does, right? It just, in seconds, you can learn so much about a company that would before take you maybe hours, even days of pouring through filings to get the answers you want. And so the incredible thing about where we are today in the world is that you can basically educate yourself to a PhD level for free. Using ChatGPT and other products. So the world has changed dramatically, and our industry is changing just the way every industry is changing today, because you can use AI in so many different ways, whether it's RedChat to get information on a company or to help write a press release. It's changing everything. It's revolutionary.
That's true. So let me go to the other side of the coin. AI often raises concerns with users about hallucinations, about truthfulness, about misinformation. So how do you ensure that RedChat delivers accurate, trustworthy information?
Well, that's a great question because we spent over a year developing RedChat and with a lot of testing. Uh, and we happen to have four great full-time programmers. And so it's just testing, testing, fixing, correcting. And, for 12 months, that's what we did. And so we have our platform for RedChat is 97% accurate. We've tested it against ChatGPT for small cap stocks. It's more accurate than ChatGPT for small cap stocks. So we've worked out those kinks, and again, 97% accurate, and very seldom do we have a hallucinogenic problem.
That's good. Yeah, I guess that's an area that you're going to have to be focused on going forward indefinitely, especially as AI continues to advance and mature and get better. Maybe you won't have to worry about it as much down the road, but probably an area that you have to keep focusing on going forward. So, is RedChat just for the professional investor, or could it be for the everyday investor to get real value out of it as well?
Oh, for the everyday investor, particularly the everyday investor, which may not be as sophisticated as a professional investor in terms of finding answers in the filings, right?
Mm-hmm.
But professional investors, it's great for too, because they're looking at a lot of different companies. If they can get answers quickly or more quickly than they can get through traditional methods, and it becomes a great value proposition for them. Also, on our portal, on redchip.com, you can go in again, and then we've programmed 4,000 small cap stocks. So every stock 2 billion and under market cap on the New York and NASDAQ is programmed. And we also have a number of filters. So you can filter by revenue growth. If it's a biotech, by what stage they're in clinical trials. You can filter by insider buying. So in addition to RedChat that will pull answers quickly from the filings and press releases, with our portal, you can filter in a variety of ways to get very, very targeted list of companies that meet certain criteria.
Okay. So I had this question that I wanted to ask, but I think you addressed it earlier. But I just want to see if there's anything else that you wanted to add to it. Have other companies approached you about integrating RedChat into their own investor relations site?
Yeah, we have we have clients, like, obviously, that are now integrating it on their investor relations landing page. We have brokers, investment bankers that are using it which have introduced it to their team, and they're using it. So the answer is yes. Clients are now putting it on their websites and their investor relations section. And again, you have both professional and retail investors also using it.
Things are changing very quickly. So where do you see RedChat with all this AI in the next couple of years? Could it become a central AI hub, or for all things, small cap?
Well, our strategy is to become the world portal for small cap stocks.
Really?
And so we will be programming it for other exchanges as well. So that ultimately we'd like to have every exchange in the world programmed with this product. And we're going to expand it beyond small caps. We already have a version 2 that will actually include big caps and mid cap stocks as well.
Okay. All right. So one last question. Looking back at the launch of RedChat, what are you most proud of, and what are you most excited about looking forward?
I'm very proud that we're the first in our industry, in the small cap investor relations industry, to launch such a product. And so we're very proud of that. So we have first mover advantage. And again, we want to continue to make the RedChat even better and even faster. And again, have it programmed for not only 4,000 small cap stocks, but for all small cap stocks on all exchanges worldwide. And then also and programming it for both mid caps and big caps. So, we're excited. We put a lot of resources behind this, and we're going to continue to make it better.
Well, congratulations. I think this is an amazing look into tomorrow. I'd like to thank you, Dave, for spending a few minutes with us today. And I'd like to have you on again.
Okay.
And thank you to the viewer for joining us today. And if you'd like to be a guest on Jeff Kagan Interviews, I invite you to get in touch with me. Send me an email, jeff@jeffkagan.com. So I guess that's about it. So until next time, thank you. And
Okay.
goodbye.
Okay. Thanks, Jeff. Have a wonderful day.
Thanks.